Hi everybody, it's July 21st, 2025. Um, as you may know if you follow me that I have hobbies, which I may also call them passions, but for the sake of simplicity I'll just call them hobbies. The place in hobbies in a person's life is an expression of freedom. If you have time enough to pour enough into what you create from yourself, from your own motivation, from your own needs or own ambitions, that hobby is a sacred space in your life, a sacred amount of time in your life. Yes, some people monetize their hobbies. That doesn't detract from any real spiritual payment that they get from it, but they do monetize it, and that's okay. What better thing is there to do than to make a living off of what you do with your freedom? So that's great. But in the spiritual sense of hobbies, the benefits are quite obviously exploration of the inner workings of your being. Many times an artist or somebody who creates something or somebody that works on projects will tell you that they always had this certain idea in their head and they couldn't exactly verbalize it as closely to its essence as they wanted to, but when they created this thing or did this thing, it just flowed out of them and it became a succinct, defined representation of that thought or idea that they had in their spirit or in their mind. So that's a great sign that art or a hobby is worth your time and worth your energy and worth your sacrifice. Other things that it does is that for us lonely people, and lonely people can create an entity from their hobbies to converse with spiritually, to build a mirror spiritually, psychologically, emotionally by their creations. And I could tell you truthfully, you can't create anything as great as another human or another person to be in your life, to be your friend, to be whatever that relationship that they offer. We can't create something as special and as wonderful as a human, but through hobbies and art and passions, you can create sort of core entity that you can converse with through your own mind, through your own spirit, and it gives you perspective on relationships and the holiness and sacredness of relationships. It gives you hope that the energy you put into this entity to converse with, to relate to, will lead to the real thing, will lead to a healthy you, will lead to a healthy future. So for lonely people that may be bogged down by depression, if they could just find a little bit of energy to create something to relate to that gives back and forth, it's not impossible, it's possible. It just takes a little bit of concentration and creativity, and it will break up the solidness that you feel that your loneliness may bear upon you. Other things with hobbies and passions are you get to see the different people that live inside you. You get to see the angry person inside you, and you get to understand him or her, and you get to love yourself a little bit more. You get to see the shy person inside you and take care of them, to teach you how to take care of your children one day, or take care of a friend that's struggling. The people that you see inside you when you create are not just facets of you, they are, what would I say they are? I would say that they are They are the soldiers on ready when you phase shift. When life causes you to phase shift, these people pop out, and you might not understand them because the base you, the median you, is controlled, calm, reflective, precise in your actions. But when you phase shift through the challenges of life, these facets or these entities of you come out, and you don't understand why someone as yourself would act that sort of way. So when you create and you live out your passions, you get to meet these people and understand them and assimilate them into your core person, so you can control them and direct them in a more healthy way. And another thing is, if you are the creative type of person that tells a story with your art or your passions or whatever, you bring down the language of your spirit. Everybody has their own language of their spirit that they communicate and that they perceive through. And we can't verbalize this even internally. We can't see it internally sometimes. But when you're a storyteller, you could create a world where your language is the language that everybody in that world inside of you uses. And you become attuned to yourself in a way that is deep and rewarding. And you could prophesize about the future of your spiritual development and evolution of your spiritual life. And so when you put this spiritual language into your stories, it may be fiction, but in reality, fiction is more telling sometimes than base life or normal life. You know, if you're telling a story that you feel like you pulled out from inside of you, that writes itself or shoots itself or whatever, in terms of film, if you bring this idea and it writes itself and it puts itself on the paper or the film or the picture or the canvas, then this is the way that you progress spiritually higher and you resonate with a deeper part of yourself, and that allows you to relate to others in a more helpful way, in a more progressive way. So if you have a hobby, a passion, creative spark that you want to pursue, I would say go for it. I hope this helps. Thanks.